There are few things as satisfying as driving a car that has no doubts about its purpose. The Alfa Romeo 4C is a race car made for the track lover who would prefer not to haul the car to the track on a trailer. It is, in short, the street-legal track car. It knows this and revels in it. The interior was black leather and microfiber seating with carbon fiber to be seen everywhere else. The entire car is carbon fiber and aluminum. The frame, body, and so on are all carbon fiber, and looking into the 4C leaves no doubt about that, as Alfa Romeo did nothing to hide it. Black and grey is everywhere, with thick door sills and tub-like floor pans. Underneath, mostly hidden from view, are the aluminum bits working as some of the supporting body frame and suspension. Lifting the rear hatch, I latched it into place and picked up my daughter so we could look inside. What greeted us was a mid-mounted 1.7-liter four-cylinder turbocharged powerhouse covered in piping and airflow management gadgets. The two-piece manifold gives a true dual exhaust for the little car, and a concession to American opulence was seen in the tiny air conditioning compressor jammed into the engine bay. On the right side of the car, the large intake opening at the fore of the rear quarter pulls in air for the manifold and other goodies. To the left side, its twin opening pulls air through the radiator. Behind the engine is a carbon fiber tub molded into the body structure that makes the, for lack of a better description, cargo space in the Alfa Romeo 4C. This massive 3.7 cubic feet of space is enough to hold a red bag with a car cover in it, another Alfa Romeo branded carry-all bag, and an ice scraper, the latter apparently put in there by those misinformed souls who seemed to think this car would be driven in any inclement weather during its lifetime. When removed, a rolled-up roof from the Spider could also be stowed in there, if one pressed the hatch closed with force to pack it all in. Once ensconced inside the Alfa Romeo, I pulled the door shut and began inspecting the interior. That's basically how the interior of the Alfa Romeo 4C can be summarized. It's a race car. Coming from that point of view, you soon come to appreciate the small exceptions to that assessment, such as the switch that says A/C and the button that says defrost, and the most obvious concession to roadworthiness, the tiny little Alpine stereo faceplate, complete with 4 speakers. The seats do not recline or adjust in any way except to slide a couple of inches fore and aft. The pedals are hinged from the floor and made entirely of aluminum. The steering wheel, which is thankfully flat-bottomed, tilts and telescopes a few millimeters. There is no glove box, and the only drink holder is right about where the driver's elbow wants to be. There is no glove box, but a tiny pouch on the back wall has a beautiful, very out-of-place snap latch and leather cover. The Alfa 4C is capable of amazing feats of sports cardom. The little 1.7L engine outputs 237 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, all in the package that weighs in the neighborhood of 1,134 kilograms, with me sitting in it. All of that power goes to the rear wheels through a 6-speed sequential, automated clutch transmission. This means that in a professional's hands, the 0 to 60 mph time of the Alfa Romeo 4C is about 4 seconds. For me, it means 0 to 60 in about 4.6 seconds. That's just getting started. Running fast is one thing. Running fast in a zigzag, that's where things get more interesting. The Alfa Romeo 4C and its tiny wheelbase, low slung weight, and superb handling and aerodynamics did a 90-degree two-lane turn at just shy of 80 miles per hour without squealing rubber. Not even the beautiful Jaguar F-Type with its all-wheel drive was that good, doing the same corner at 77 miles per hour before the tires began to chirp. The downside to that kind of control: at 80 miles per hour on the freeway, you get the impression that if you sneeze while holding the steering wheel, the whole car might go into a roll. There is absolutely no slack or margin for error in the steering in the 4C. None. That is where the intimidation comes in.